जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य दृष्टतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परवकर्षर अष्टोशत हिजवाइन शील ऐसी भक्तों प्रपात की। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परवकर्षर अष्टोशत हिजवाइन के शील भक्त सिद्धांत सरकुंड महाराज की। अनंत कोट वैष्णव भक्तवंद की। नामा 4000 ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम राधा गोवर्धन की। वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की। नवदीप मायपुर धाम की। गंगा मैया की। यमुना मैया की। तुलसी देवी की। भक्ति देवी की। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की। भगवद गीता की। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories Shri Guru Arganga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ओम अज्ञान तिरमानंदस्य ज्ञानंजन शलाक्या चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापित अमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कथा मह्यं ददाति सप्तन्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतकमलं श्रीगुरुण वैष्णवांच श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथं पितं तं सजीवं सावधूतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान शैगण ललिता विशाखा विंतांच। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका का राधा का नमस्तते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावने श्री वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणुर्ये। वांछा कल्पतरुवश कृपा सिंधुचा पतितानां पावने वैष्णव नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर वासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Today we shall study Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 10. The name of chapter is The Opulence of the Absolute, text number 22. Hare Krishna, please repeat after me. Vedānām sāma-vedo asmi devānām asmi vāsavaḥ indriyāṇāṁ manaḥ asmi bhūtānām asmi cetanā vedānām sāma-vedo asmi devānām asmi vāsavaḥ indriyāṇāṁ manaś cāsmi bhūtānām asmi cetanā vedānām sāma-vedo asmi devānām asmi vāsavaḥ indriyāṇāṁ manaś asmi bhūtānām asmi cetanā vedānām sāma-vedo asmi devānām asmi vāsavaḥ indriyāṇāṁ manaścāsmi, bhūtānām asmi cetanā. Now you vedānām sāma-vedo asmi, devānām asmi vāsavaḥ, indriyāṇāṁ manaś cāsmi, bhūtānām asmi cetanā. vedānām sāma-vedo asmi, devānām asmi vāsavaḥ, indriyāṇāṁ manaś asmi, bhūtānām asmi cetanā. vedānām sāma-vedo asmi, devānām asmi vāsavaḥ, indriyāṇāṁ manaś asmi, bhūtānām asmi cetanā. vedānām sāma-vedo asmi, devānām asmi vāsavaḥ, indriyāṇāṁ manaś asmi, bhūtānām asmi cetanā. vedānām sāma-vedo asmi, devānām asmi vāsavaḥ, indriyāṇāṁ manaś asmi, bhūtānām asmi cetanā. Matajis. vedānām sāma-vedo asmi, devānām asmi vāsavaḥ, indriyāṇāṁ manaś asmi, bhūtānām asmi cetanā. vedānām sāma-vedo asmi, devānām asmi vāsavaḥ, indriyāṇāṁ manaś asmi, bhūtānām asmi cetanā. Now word to word meaning. Vedānām of the Vedas. Sāma Veda, the Sāma Veda. Asmi, I am. Devānām, of all the demigods. Asmi, I am. Vāsavaḥ, the heavenly king. Indriyāṇāṁ, of all the senses. Manaḥ, the mind. Cha, also. Asmi, I am. Bhūtānām, of all living entities. Asmi, I am. Cetanā, the living force. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki. Of the Vedas, I am the Sāma-Veda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. And in the living being, I am the living force, consciousness. Repeat after me. Of the Vedas, I am the Sāma-Veda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am mind. And the living being, I am the living force, consciousness. Yes. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki. The differences between matter and spirit is that matter has no consciousness, like the living entities. Therefore, this consciousness is supreme and eternal. Consciousness cannot be produced by a combination of matter. So, of the Vedas, I am the Sāma-Veda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. And the living being, I am the living force, consciousness. So there are the four things in this text actually. That is the Samved, that is the main of the Vedas actually. 4 Vedas, Samved. There are 4 Vedas and Samved is the main actually. And Indra, the king of heaven, of all the demigods, the king of heaven, that is Indra actually, is the main demigods. And of all the senses, that is the mind is the main sense actually. And consciousness of the human being is the main thing actually. Because of consciousness, we are the living force actually. If there is no consciousness, then the body becomes dead actually. This is the opulence of the absolute. Opulence means the 6 kind of opulences. Sat Aishwarya Purna, of all wealth, all fame, all strength, all beauty, all knowledge, all renunciation actually. These are the things actually. These are the opulences. We can have money, you can have some money. I can have money. But none of us can claim that I have all money. You have all money actually. Only the Supreme Personal Godhead can claim this actually. And that is not possible also. That is claimed by the Lord Krishna actually. I have got some strength. You have got some strength. Everybody has strength, but not all strength. All strength is only exhibited by Lord Krishna actually. You cannot say that you can lift the Govardhan hills actually. This is because of the strength of the Lord Krishna itself. So, one who possesses all the wealth, all the strength, all the fame, all the beauty, all the knowledge and renunciation is called the Bhagavan actually. This is the definition of the Bhagavan actually. The meaning of the Bhagavan is that Sat Aishwarya Purna. Therefore, Vyasadeva says that in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Uvacha. The Bhagavan is not the ordinary person actually, who is speaking actually. The Bhagavan is the full of knowledge actually, because he has the qualification of the Bhagavan as stated above actually. He is competent with all knowledge actually. So, that is Bhagavan Uvacha actually. So, the Bhagavan word is explained by the Parasmuni actually, the father of Vyasadeva. One who is full in 6 opulences, who has full strength, full fame, full wealth, knowledge, full beauty, and renunciation is Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. While Krishna was present on this earth actually, he displayed all the 6 opulences actually. Therefore, the great sages like Parasmuni have all accepted Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead actually. Now Krishna is instructing and telling to Arjuna in more confident knowledge of his opulences and his work actually. These are the, in this chapter actually, the Krishna telling some important actually opulences actually, not all. There are the unlimited opulences of the Supreme Personality of God actually. Then Lord Krishna is telling to the Arjuna his manifestation of various opulences. The more one hear about the opulences, the more one hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the more one becomes fixed in devotion service to the Lord actually. One should always hear about the Lord Krishna actually, in association of the devotees actually. Just as you are listening actually. We are in all association actually. What will there? The result will be that actually, the one will progress in the devotional service of the Lord actually. Because we need the environment actually. Environment devotional service, not the material environment actually. If they are the materialist actually and you want to listen about the Lord Krishna actually, that is not possible actually. We need to have the devotees actually. The discourses in the society of devotees can take place only among those who are anxious to become Krishna conscious actually. If those who are not interested in becoming the Krishna conscious, that is not possible. Discourses can only be possible when there is a Krishna consciousness actually. Those who are not Krishna consciousness, they cannot take part into the discourses actually. And the Lord Krishna chooses the Arjuna actually for this discourses actually, because the Arjuna is a devotee as well as a friend actually. Then you see Katham, in this text number 17, in this chapter actually, the Lord Krishna says that actually, Katham vidya aham yogim tam sada parchintayam kesu kesu cha bhaveshu chinto yase bhagavan maya. The Lord says, Arjuna asks, Arjuna says that, okay, how can I meditate upon you actually? This is the main question actually. This is the chief problem actually. How you can meditate upon the Lord Krishna actually? Because in what various forms? He is asking in what various forms you can be remembered actually. This is the main thing actually. How to do devotion service? There are the 9 process of devotion service in which actually one of the processes is the remembering actually. How we can remember the Lord Krishna actually? The Lord Krishna is remembered by his activities, his spiritual activities in the past actually. The Lord Krishna, he replied, Hantate kathasyami dibyahi atma vibhutaya vedānāṁ kuru sreshta nasti asti into bistaras me. Yes, I will tell you of the splendorous manifestation, but only of those which are prominent actually. To remember the Lord Krishna, what is there? The Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna the main prominent actually, prominent opulence actually. Because, why the main? Because the opulences are unlimited actually. And in that is not possible to tell all the opulences actually. Only the prominent opulences the Lord is telling in this chapter actually. Supreme Personality Godhead is covered by the Yogamaya. Yogamaya, only the surrendered souls and devotee can see him only. Those who are not surrendered soul, they cannot claim to see the Lord Krishna actually. And Arjuna is convinced, because that Arjuna is not covered by the Yogamaya, he is beyond modes of material nature actually. And he is convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead. But he wants to know the general process by which the all-pervading Lord can be known and understood by the common man actually. The common man, including the demons and atheists, cannot know Krishna because he is prevented or obstructed by his Yogamaya energy. Arjuna wants to know not for his own, but for the welfare of all people in general. How one can remember the all-pervading Lord Krishna actually. The true devotee is a Vaishnava and not only concerned for his own understanding, but for all mankind actually. Out of his mercy, he is a Vaishnava actually, a devotee. The common man who has no love for Krishna cannot always think of Lord Krishna actually. He is compelled to think materially. Because common man is always in the environment of the material environment. And that's why he only thinks about the material things actually, not of the spiritual things actually. They always concentrate and fix their mind on physical things and try to see how Krishna manifests by physical represent. That is not possible actually. It is not possible to comprehend the greatness of Krishna and his opulences. The senses of the individual soul are imperfect actually. Because to see the Krishna actually, to understand the Krishna, the senses must be perfect. And senses can only be perfect by performing the devotion service of Lord Krishna. By chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna. By chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. By fixing the mind in the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. This is only possible by the devotees actually, and not by the materialist person actually. The devotees try to understand Krishna, but not on the principle that they will be able to understand Krishna fully actually. It is not possible actually. No one can understand Krishna full actually. Only the Krishna can understand full actually. He knows himself only. The topics relating to the Krishna are so relatable that they appear to be as nectar actually. Thus, the devotee enjoy them. In discussing Krishna opulences and his diverse energy, the pure devotees take transcendental pleasure actually. Therefore, they want to hear and discuss them. Krishna knows that the living entity do not understand the extent of his opulences. He therefore agrees to state only the principal manifestation. In this chapter, only the principal manifestation of opulences actually and his diverse energy. But the impersonalist or the atheist cannot understand the exceptional opulences of Supreme Personality Godhead nor the manifestation of his divine energies. The Krishna is described what can be directly perceived by the common man. Thus, part of his variegated energy is described in this way actually. In this text actually, there is a discussion of the Vedas actually. He is a Sāma Veda actually. Srila Prabhupada, he viewed the Vedas as the divine source of knowledge. Divine source of knowledge. Originating from the breath of the Supreme Personality of God actually. They are manifested from the breath of Supreme Personality of God actually. Prabhupada, he has emphasized that the Vedas provide guidance for conditioned soul. That is guidance for conditioned soul. For what? For liberation from this material world actually. To those seeking, to whom the guidance? To those seeking to return to the Godhead. And this is showing the path for liberation through the performance of Yajna and Krishna consciousness and devotion service actually. The key aspects are of the Prabhupada has stated. Prabhupada believed that Vedas are not merely human compilation. but it is emanations from the Supreme Lord's breath. And these are the authoritative source of knowledge. Authoritative. See, you can just tell to anybody else actually. These are authoritative source, Vedas. Prabhupada stressed that the Vedas offer a systematic process for conditioned soul to fulfill their material desire actually. While the condition is that to fulfill the desire of the conditioned soul, simultaneously progressing toward the spiritual liberation. Two things are there actually. They provide the guidance for the material enjoyment along with progress towards the spiritual realization. Prabhupada highlighted the regulatory principles of Vedas, emphasizing that following them allow one to enjoy the material world without becoming entangled in the karma. They are the regulatory principles in the Vedas actually. That is to enjoy the material world without becoming entangled in the. If you directly enjoy this material world actually without any instructions, following any instruction of Supreme Personal Godhead or the Vedas actually, you will become entangled in this part actually, and you have to follow the process of cycle of birth and death actually. And what is that? He considered the Bhagavad Gita as the essence of all Vedic wisdom, summarizing the core teaching on the path of devotion and self-realization. Prabhupada encouraged, what he encouraged? He encouraged reading and engaging the various Vedic literature, including the Vedas themselves, Purans, Mahabharata, Vedanta Sutra, Srimad Bhagavatam, to strengthen one's connection with Supreme Personal Godhead. This connection to the Supreme Lord can only be strengthened by just studying all these Vedic literature actually. If one does not study or read the literature actually, the connection cannot be complete actually. The Prabhupada viewed as a powerful tool. This is, what is this? This is the power tool. Vedic literature, what is this? This is a power tool, powerful tool actually. As a powerful tool for spiritual progress, offering a path to liberation and a deeper understanding of the Supreme Lord Krishna actually. To study the Vedas means to come to the conclusion of the supremacy of the personality Godhead actually. You can know the Supreme Personality of Godhead, its supremacy only by the study of Vedic literature actually. Of the Vedas, that is the Supreme Personal God, Supreme Personal Godhead Krishna is what is the Sāma Veda represented as Krishna actually. Why? This Sāma Veda is rich with beautiful songs played by various demigods. One of these songs is vedānāṁ, which has an exquisite melody and is sung at the midnight. This is to exercise to think Krishna 24 hours a day, leading to the path of liberation to Golovindamandham, the supreme destination and aim of the human life. Amongst the regulative poetry in this Sāma Veda, the Gayatri Mantra is also part of Sāma Veda, which is chanted by the duly qualified Brahmans. It is the most prominent. Gayatri Mantra is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam also, because of the Gayatri Mantra is especially meant for God realization. It represents the Supreme Lord. This mantra is meant for especially advanced people actually. When one attains success in chanting it, he can enter into the transcendental position of the Lord. One must first acquire the qualities of the perfectly situated person and quality of goodness according to the laws of material nature in order to chant the Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra is very important in Vedic realization, Vedic civilization, and is considered to be the sound incarnation of Brahma actually. Brahma is initiator and it is passed down from him in disciplic succession actually. This is the Sāma Veda actually and the Vedas actually importance. Now, let us come to the Indra actually. Who is Indra actually? The Prabhupada said that Indra is the king of demigods, devas. In Hinduism, he is a figure of immense importance actually. Particularly during the Vedic period, he is not merely a demigod but a powerful force associated with the rain actually. Rain is very important actually. Rain, thunder, and the protection of the sacred kettle of heavens. Indra's significance lies in his role as savior who battles against the personification of drought actually. When there is a drought, you need the rain is required actually. And releases water to sustain the land actually. He is also celebrated as hero who wields the Vajra actually. There is a Vajra actually. Shastra Vajra. A thunderbolt and vanquishes demons. Indra is also the ruler of the demigods actually. He is the chief demigod actually. He is associated with the force of nature, particularly rain and thunder, which are essential for the well-being of the world actually. Rain is a must actually. Indra is also known as the protector of the sacred cattle of the heaven. Sacred cattle means cow actually, a symbol of wealth and prosperity actually. He is celebrated for his powers as a god of order and for his ability to bring rain and sunshine by overcoming the drought-inducing demon. He is depicted as a powerful hero who uses his Vajra to defeat the monsters and demons actually. Now next is mind actually. Mind, there are 5 senses for acquiring knowledge actually. What are the senses? Ear, eyes, nose, tongue and skin. These are the 5 senses actually. Knowledge acquiring senses. And the 5 working senses. Voice, legs, hands, anus and genitals. Then above the senses is the mind actually, which is within and which can be called sense within actually. Therefore, including the mind, there are 11 senses, and mind is the chief sense actually. Srila Prabhupada, in his teachings, the mind is seen as powerful force actually. Prabhupada described this mind is a powerful force actually. And what is the powerful? This mind is capable of carrying, the mind is capable of both leading to liberation and binding to the material existence. Both. It depends upon the mind, actually, state of mind. Whether he wants the liberation or he wants to remain in the physical existence actually. It depends upon his activities actually. It is very much crucial to train and purify the mind to become a friend rather than an enemy on the path of spiritual progress actually. You have to train the mind actually, so to liberate from this physical existence actually. The Prabhupada emphasizes that the mind is the platform for all the desires and that by engaging in it in the service of Krishna, one can overcome the material attachment and achieve self-realization. See the thing. Mind is the platform. This is the basis of all the desires actually. Mind is the desires of physical, is the main platform of the physical desires as well as spiritual desires. If he desires for the execution of devotion service, for performance devotion service, there is a liberation actually. If he desires to being in the material existence, he will only attach to the physical things actually, and nothing more. So what is there? The result is that the mind is the cause of material existence and liberation. So both things are there. He is the only cause actually. Everyone is suffering in this material world because of mind actually. Everybody is suffering. This is the mind actually. It is therefore proper to train the mind, to cleanse the mind from material attachment and engage it fully in the Lord's service. We have to train the mind actually. And how you can train the mind? You can train the mind in association of devotees actually. Without the association of devotees, you cannot train the mind. You have to take shelter of the spiritual master actually. Then and only then the mind can be trained actually. Otherwise not actually. If you don't have the association of devotees, then you cannot have a spiritual master actually. Your desire is created from your heart actually to have a spiritual master only when you are in the association of devotees actually. Otherwise not actually. चंचलम भी मन कृष्ण प्रमाति बलवर्धनम तस्य हम निग्रहम मन्ने वायु इवसो दुष्करम. This is the state of mind actually. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate and very strong actually. And to subdue it, it is more difficult than controlling the wind actually. Very difficult actually. And mind is so strong and obstinate that sometimes it overcomes the intelligence also. The mind is working under the intelligence, but what is it? It subdues the intelligence actually. Just early in the lecture of this Maharaj Ji actually, he was telling regarding this actually mind actually. He is so much strong actually. For a man, what the man is doing in this physical world? The man in the physical world has to fight so many opposing elements. And it's certainly very difficult to control the mind actually. Mind is also opposing the things. Artificially, one will establish a mental equilibrium towards both the friend and enemy, but ultimately, no worldly man can do so. This is more difficult than controlling the wind actually. Then Lord Krishna has replied actually, Asansayam mahabaho mano dunigram chalam abhyasayantu kaunteya vairagyam chakrahayate. O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by constant practice and by detachment actually. By constant practice. To engage the mind in devotional service and from detachment of the worldly affair. Though the personality of God as Sri Krishna has accepted the difficulty in controlling this obstinate mind actually. But at the same time, the Lord has suggested that by practice of devotional service and detachment it is possible. And what is the practice? In the present age, no one can observe the strict rules and regulations of placing oneself in a sacred place, focusing the mind on supper soul, restraining the senses and mind, observing celibacy, remaining alone, etc. By the practice of Krishna consciousness. Only by practice of Krishna consciousness. Means by chanting the holy name Lord Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. One can engage the mind in 9 types of devotional service actually. And what is that? Sarvanam Krishna Vishnu, Archanam Bandam Dasam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. These are the 9 process of devotional service actually. The first and foremost such devotional service is hearing. Hearing about Krishna only. Hearing about Krishna, this is very much important actually. How you can hear? You can hear the lecture pertaining to Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam classes and Bhagavad Gita class actually. This is the very much powerful transcendental method actually. The more one hears about Krishna, the more one becomes enlightened and detached from everything, material things, and draws the mind away from Krishna. By detaching the mind from activities not devoted to the Lord, one can very easily learn vairagya. Vairagya means detachment from matter and engagement of mind in the spiritual activities. This is practical because by hearing about Krishna, one becomes automatically attached to Supreme Spirit. Because you see, what is there? We are all coming the morning actually, in the Mangal Arati actually. We get up early in the morning, we chant actually Mangal Arati, right? Then we chant the Tulsi Arati, then we chant the Hare Krishna Japa actually. We engage our mind actually in the morning actually. This is the process of controlling the mind actually. And there is a darshan arati and all these things we get the darshan of the Lord Krishna actually, and our mind is engaged actually. If you don't keep your mind in the devotions to the Lord Krishna actually, the mind will automatically engage in physical things actually. And what is there? That will entangle in this physical world actually. And this is must actually. Just as you are here in the Bhagavad Gita class, if you don't attend the class actually, then what is it? You have to devote your time in the material things actually. The association devotee is the must actually for controlling the mind actually. This is practical because the hearing about Krishna, one becomes automatically attached to the Supreme Spirit. Attachment is called priyasthana bhava, spiritual satisfaction. Udrit atmana atmanam na atmanam avasadhet atmavehi atmano bandhu atmeva ripu atmanah. A man must elevate himself by his own mind actually. Elevation to the devotion service depends upon his own self actually, by controlling the mind actually. Other men can control actually. You have to control yourself. Don't allow the mind to degrade himself. How to degrade? That is to engage in the material things actually. You have to engage the mind in the devotion service actually. When the mind is engaged in devotion service, it is a friend actually. When it becomes engaged in the material things, it is not a friend, it is an enemy actually. The mind and the conditioned soul are especially important. Mind is central point of yoga system. The purpose of the yoga system is to control the mind and to draw it from attachment to the sense object actually. Because sense object, these are main things in the obstacles of the devotion service of the Lord actually. So the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was not in position to see the women actually near to him actually. He instructed to keep the women right away at far distance actually. And it is advised actually, please do not look into the sense objects actually. Otherwise, what will happen? If you look into the sense object, then we will make thinking in the night actually instead of Lord Krishna actually. The mind must be so trained that it can deliver the conditioned soul from the mire of nescience actually. In material existence, one is subjected to the influence of the mind and the senses. In fact, the pure soul is entangled in the material world because of the mind's ego, which desires to lord it over the material nature actually. This is the main thing actually. Why the person engaged in the material things? Because they want to lord it actually. They want to control the material things actually, material environment actually. But those who are not concerned of the material things actually, they come to this Krishna conscious actually. Therefore, the mind should be trained so that it will not be attracted by the glitter of the material nature actually. In this way, the conditioned soul may be saved actually. One should not degrade himself by attraction to the sense object. The more one is attracted by sense object, the more one becomes entangled actually. In the matrix, the best way to disentangle oneself is to always engage the mind in Krishna consciousness. Means Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, let us stop here actually. If any questions, you can ask actually. No question? Thank you very much.